This is 6 Minutes, the seriously international daily newscast. It's Thursday, April 24th. I'm Anne-Sophie Goninet.
And I'm Jacob Shropshire. It's dinner time in Hiroshima, Japan, while the sun is just coming up over the island of Puerto Rico. In Eindhoven, Netherlands, and here in the World Crunch newsroom in Paris, it's just after midday. These are the latest headlines. India vows to pursue perpetrators of Kashmir attack to, quote, ends of the earth. There's a surprise, immediate ceasefire in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And our More Than a Minute segment today covers an exclusive, intimate final goodbye to Pope Francis. The top story today is a Russian attack on Kyiv that has killed at least 9. The missile and drone attack, which also injured 77, is the biggest on the Ukrainian capital this year. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky canceled part of his trip to South Africa in response. This attack came just hours after U.S. President Donald Trump lashed out at Zelensky, blaming the Ukrainian president's refusal to accept Russian occupation of Crimea for failure to end the war. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi vowed on Thursday to pursue, track, and punish terrorists responsible for a deadly militant attack on tourists in Kashmir, where police have identified 2 of the gunmen as Pakistani. At a speech in eastern India, Modi folded his hands in prayer in remembrance for the 26 men who were shot and killed in a meadow in the Pahalgam region of Indian Kashmir. The Democratic Republic of Congo and the M23 rebel militia have agreed to an immediate ceasefire. The surprise announcement follows talks mediated by Qatar, with the warring Democratic Republic of Congo and M23 group releasing a joint statement pledging to an, quote, immediate cessation of hostilities until talks reach their, quote, conclusion. This comes after months of escalated fighting in the decades-long conflict saw M23 take multiple Congolese cities. A research team from Dartmouth College published a report that estimates 111 of the world's biggest companies have caused $28 trillion in climate damage, with more than half of that coming from a handful of fossil fuel companies. The report, published in the journal Nature, says that for every 1% of carbon emissions released since 1990, more than $500 billion in damage has been caused to the environment from heat alone. That doesn't count other extreme weather such as hurricanes or droughts. The stated goal of the research is to make it easier to hold corporations financially accountable for climate damage. St. Peter's Basilica reopened its doors on Thursday to welcome thousands of worshippers from around the world, paying their final respects to Pope Francis. Almost 50,000 people have come so far to pay homage to the late pontiff ahead of his funeral on Saturday. We have more from Rome in today's More Than a Minute feature. Perhaps no other man in the Vatican was closer to the late pontiff than Cardinal Victor Manuel Tucho Fernandez. And Sophie, tell us about this key figure.
Like Francis, Cardinal Fernandez is from Argentina, having served as the Archbishop of La Plata before the Pope personally appointed him in 2023 to one of the most important posts in the Vatican, prefect for the Congregation of the Doctrine of the Faith. Clarín, the Buenos Aires-based daily, reports on Fernandez's unique access to Francis in these final days and his reflections on the man and his legacy. I knew that he had little time left, but I thought that we would still have him among us for a little while longer, the Cardinal confessed in an interview with Argentine radio station Cadena Tres.
Fernandez also shared his final goodbye to the man born 88 years ago, Jorge Bergoglio. Tell us about that.
At 10 o'clock in the morning, I was allowed to go in to give him my last greeting. They had not yet dressed him, he recalled. 2 things were mixed in my heart: a great respect for being before the successor of Peter, and a deep emotion for seeing Jorge there, the friend, the man who always gave me encouragement in hard times and never let me down. For me, he was an immense figure. His voice is still inside me, telling me, Tucho, fuerza. Of course, along with his fellow cardinals, Fernandez will now need that force, that strength, to bury the pontiff on Saturday, and beginning next month, choose his successor.
We're closing things out today with our daily quiz question, which comes to us from a prestigious club in the UK. Back in 1991, British woman Sophie Lloyd posed as a man to trick her way into an elite society that did not allow female members then. Some 34 years after being found and kicked out, she was finally granted membership to which exclusive circle? Is it A, cigar smokers, B, magicians, C, bowler hat wearers, or D, golfers? The correct answer is B. Sophie Lloyd tricked her way into the magic circle by disguising herself as a man to fool examiners into letting her join the elite society in 1991, at a time female magicians were not allowed in. But now, 34 years after she was kicked out, she's finally being granted membership.
That's the latest from around the world. If you like this podcast, we'd really appreciate it if you could help us out with a follow, share, and a 5-star rating on your preferred podcasting platform. For more of the best of the international press delivered exclusively in English, visit us at worldcrunch.com. We'll see you here tomorrow. À demain.